Hey, what's going on? My name is Nate, and got an update. So I guess this is what, part three? I think part 3 or 4 of my Challenger front end swap. It's another update on how things are going. So the last video, I said I hit a roadblock, and that Indian, I called him and asked about the lower triple tree, and they said that the part was discontinued, which didn't make any sense to me because they were still selling the bike and it had only been out for 9 months. But I said, okay. I reached out to a couple people. Lawless Garage said that they would make me a triple tree if I needed it. I said, okay, well, I'm going to think about it, but just give me some time. And I wanted to see what was going to happen because Indian had announced they were going to release their 2024 models. So I waited for them to release 2024 models. I went on the website a day or two after, and lo and behold, the lower triple tree, which they had told me was discontinued, was available to purchase. So good news. That means I can complete my swap. So I ordered the lower triple tree, ordered new upper and lower bearings because I noticed as I was going through stuff, I and had taken the tree out. I noticed that the bearing neck, there's some wear marks in the bearing neck and in the lower bearing. And when I rotated the upper sealed bearing, it felt like it was notched. So there was resistance, and it would kind of clicked all the way around. So I thought, okay, well, I'll get the lower and I'll get some new bearings, just refresh the whole neck because I don't want to have to deal with any of this for a while again. After putting taking the front end off, putting the Challenger front end on, taking that off, putting my old front end back on, and now taking that off again so I can put the new front end on. So I did all that, and the Sport Chief lower triple tree came, and to my surprise, there was no steering stem installed, and I don't have a press, but I took it to a mechanic that I've used before, and he was able to press the steering stem out. He said it was a pain in the ass, and he put on the new lower roller bearing, so that was great, and I appreciated that, and brought everything home, and thought, okay, I've got all the tools to take the old bearings out, or so I thought. I was able to get the upper sealed bearing out on the neck with a punch. I had a slide hammer, which I used, but this is the bearing. As I spin it around, you can feel it's notched. But so this was in the upper neck area, and that I just used a punch. That was I hit it from the bottom, and this popped right out, easy peasy. And initially, my plan was to use my race puller because I had bought one of those. It's a $20 part, $20 tool that I had that I was going to use on my Harley when I was going to do the neck bearings on that. And I couldn't find it. It's a $20 tool you can buy on Amazon, and it sits around the lip of the race, the bearing race, and you put a punch in on the other end, and it just knocks it right out. And I couldn't find it, so I tried everything. I tried a screwdriver, I tried the punch. Part of the issue is in the neck. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. In the neck, on the upper portion and the lower portion, on the other side, there's a little notch for you to be able to put a punch there or something. But on one, I can only get it to really seat on one side. And I'm just making no headway. I've tried a screwdriver, I've tried a punch, I'm hitting the crap out of it. I've heated it up like crazy, and it's not moving at all. So I'm stuck again because of another $20 part, which is frustrating. And I asked everyone I know, put it out on some Facebook groups for Bay Area motorcycle riders. No one has this tool. Of course, when I went and picked up the triple tree from my mechanic, we were talking about race removal tools, and he showed me the one he had, and it was the one that I had. And I was like, oh, good, I have that one, so that'll work. And of course, by the time I realized I couldn't find it, he's gone for the holiday week. So he's going to be out of town. And so I had to order another one. Today's Saturday. It'll be here Monday. Thankfully, it's just a $20 part. It's not you can get some crazy ones that are like $200. But fingers crossed. I keep saying this, and I knew this would happen, but fingers crossed, this is the last roadblock I'm going to hit. And once I get this lower race out, I have the race installer tool to put it back in. I've got the bearing installer tool to put the upper one in. And then everything else should be stuff that I've already done before. Putting the triple trees back on, torquing it all to spec, replacing the lower brake line, yada, yada, yada. So there is an end in sight. And right now, the biggest thing, once I get this tool, the biggest thing is just going to be my schedule. So basically, I have next Wednesday off to be able to work on it. Hopefully, maybe I can get some done. But the rest, otherwise, it's holiday weekend. And then I'm at work for like 5 days in a row. And just generally not going to have time. So I'm hoping that I can make a bunch of headway on this on Wednesday, and if not, get it done. Otherwise, it'll probably be mid-December before I'm able to work on it again. But man, this lower tree is really nice. Big Bear Performance did a great job on the forks. I'm glad that they found that the lowers were bent, so those are fixed. I'm excited because I don't know if you can see, I've got rebound and dampening adjustability. I've got these beautiful Lindahl brakes on this fresh tire, so it's going to be great when it's ready. I've got this carbon fiber original Garage Moto front fender, which I haven't even looked at yet. So close and so frustrating because I know that I've seen this tool recently and I took it out and I just have no idea where it is, and the bike would have been put back together already, but I spent the last 2 days looking for it, asking around, trying to get this race out. And people say just you could put it back in and run it, but the fact that I can see wear marks on the race, I really don't want to do that, and I don't want to cause premature bearing failure, and I really don't want to have to take the front end apart again anytime soon. So I have a history of being very impatient and jumping the gun on things, and I'm really trying to not do that and take my time and make sure I do this right, which is what I've kind of been forced to do with all these roadblocks that I keep hitting. So it's been good. It'll be good in the long run for the bike because it'll all be done right, and I won't have to do it again. But in the short time, it's pretty frustrating. So thanks for listening to me ramble. And hopefully the next time I have an update on this, it's because it's done. So fingers crossed, and ride safe.